Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how you can print your own bottle cap images using just your smartphone or your tablet. I will also then show you how you can apply your images into your bottle caps and also the different ways in which you can seal your images so that they last a long time on your hair bows. Before we start, if you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also press the bell button to be notified of all my uploads. The app we are going to be using for this today is Canva. I will pop a link to this app in the description below. And then upon opening the app, as you can see at the top here, you've got all different designs to begin with for your blank page. I print on A4 paper, so I just scroll across this top here and find the A4 document. And then I'm going to select a blank page. And then once the page is loaded, at the bottom you've got some options of different things that you can add to your blank canvas. You can add your own text, your own photos. I'm going to show you some of the elements and search in Halloween. And then that will show you all the elements available within the app. Some say Pro on, which means you have to have the monthly subscription to be able to use those particular images. Some are animated. So that would help if you go into filters and select static, because you only really want to use static images within your bottle cap image. If you can't find a particular image on here that you're looking for, you can go on a Google search and search for your image, but I do advise that you make sure that any image you use has a free license if you are selling your hair bows. I'm not actually going to be using any of these images today. I'm actually going to be designing my own. But first of all, I need to add my ruler to my blank page. So I need to go to the camera at the bottom and select from my camera roll. So I'm just going to go off the screen while I do that. So I've just brought this up from my camera roll. Obviously I went off the screen because I didn't want to show everyone on here all my personal photos on my camera roll. So I made this using precisionruler.com and I've made it to A4 size, which is 21 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. And then if you just drag the corners out to fit the page exactly, they should be the perfect measurements for your A4 paper. We don't actually print this with our image, but we use this as a guide whilst we're designing our bottle cap image so we can get it just the right size for printing. I am going to share this ruler with you all to use, so I've saved it in my Pinterest, so just head over to my Pinterest, which is linked in the description below, and save this image to use to make your bottle cap images. And it's also handy to make any of your designs on Canva really, so do save it, it's really handy to have. So this is the design that I came up with. I designed this myself. I didn't do it all on camera because it did take a while when you're designing your own. Obviously you can go online, as I said, and pick your own image and use that as a whole. But to put this together, I found the horns and the tail online and saved them to my camera roll, added all the text myself. As you can see, I've got all of my elements highlighted here, and to do that you have to just press and hold on each of your elements to highlight them. And when they're all highlighted, you have to press group at the bottom here. So now all of these are now grouped as one, and then you can press on the corner dots and then you are able to resize that whole image. Now most bottle caps take a 1-inch round image, so this is where we need to resize it. So now dragging my image into the corner of my ruler, this is where the ruler comes in handy. We need to resize this so it's no bigger than 2.5 centimeters across and 2.5 centimeters down, the equivalent to 1 inch. So we know it's going to fit into our bottle cap when it comes to printing it. Once you're happy with the size, you can then drag this down to your page, and then at the bottom you will see the word duplicate. So you can duplicate this image as many times as you want. If you want to print out a whole page full, or if you just want to print out a couple, then you can do that. So you don't have to remake the image over and over again. You can simply duplicate that whole image by pressing that at the bottom there. And now we need to delete our ruler because we don't need to print that out. That just will waste unnecessary ink. So highlighting the ruler page, at the bottom here you will see the word delete. I'm going to delete that ruler off the image, and then we're going to move these up because we've got more room now. So you can fit more on the page if you want to. And now we can save our image. So if you look at the top here, you've got this arrow. So you just simply press on the arrow, and then you've got the option then to save your image, and that will then save to your camera roll ready for printing out. So I've opened up my image within my camera roll. I've zoomed in the screen so I don't have all of my personal photos on display right now, but at the bottom left I've got an arrow which I'm going to press to bring up this menu, scroll up to select print, and then my printer is already wirelessly connected to my phone, so I'm ready to just press print and wait for my image to print out. I recommend that you now keep on this screen whilst you wait for your image to print, because you don't want to lose connection with your printer. And here it is, all printed out. As you can see, by using the handy ruler, they are all perfect size to fit inside our bottle caps. I wouldn't recommend using too many words within your text because you'll have to squeeze it down too small to fit within the image. So something like this is perfect. So let's get these cut out and made into our bottle caps. My packs of bottle caps I got from AliExpress. I will pop links to everything that I've used in this video today in the description below. I chose silver, gold and white bottle caps. You can get all different colours. Some are plastic, some are metal. These particular ones are metal. They're basically like a bottle cap which have been flattened, and then they make like a lovely frame for any image that you want to pop onto your hair bows. And here we have the epoxy domes. These are like a little dome sort of shaped topper which you pop on the top of your picture. They're sticky on the back, and you just simply pop them inside your bottle cap on the top of your image, and they just seal in your image. Or you can use glossy accents. It says on the bottle this is a clear dimensional medium. It's basically like a 3D dimensional gloss, if you like, and it just seals your image. It takes 15 to 60 minutes to dry, and you can put it on as thin or as thick as you like. So this is what I'm actually going to be using for mine today. I've got this really handy 1-inch circle punch. They come in different sizes, but obviously this one is a 1-inch one, which is perfect for your bottle cap images. So first of all, we need to turn the punch upside down and open up this compartment here. This is where your punched out piece of design will come out the bottom. And then taking your paper with the image facing upwards, you can see it in the hole. Now this has got a slot, and the paper can only go so far. So if I just pick this paper up to show you, I can only get this in so far, and it's not quite far enough to get my image in the center because it hits the back of that slot. So in that case, I need to cut off a piece of the edge of the paper so that I can fit my design in the right place. So I'm just going to cut across the top here, quite close to my design, but not too close because I don't want to cut any of the design away. And then if we just do a little test just to see if our design now fits in that circle nicely. So we'll just slot that in from that top edge, and as you can see, that is now perfect to fit in the center. So I'll just turn this the correct way up, and I'm going to get this lined up centrally within that circle. Now I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure on this punch handle, and that will just help me to move this around without it moving around too much. That just holds it more steady. I can still move it around, and then when I'm happy that that is central, I'm going to apply full pressure and punch that out, and then just turn it the other way and give it a little tap, and there is the bottle cap image, perfect size for our bottle cap topper. And that is all 3 images now punched out of our paper. Next I've got my Mod Podge and paintbrush. This is the Gloss Mod Podge. I use this to stick my piece of paper inside my bottle cap image, and I also use this to seal the image as well. So picking up my bottle cap image, I'm just going to give this a little stir, And then I'm going to remove any excess glue off using the side of the pot like that. And then I'm just going to apply a thin layer of my Mod Podge glue all over the bottom of my bottle cap, being careful not to go up the sides, but I want to go close to the sides so that the paper doesn't peel up around the edges. So just a thin layer like that is all you need. And then I'm going to pick up my image and lay that over the top of that glue inside my bottle cap. And as you can see, it fits perfectly using that 1-inch punch and also the handy ruler that we used within our Canva app. So I'm just pushing it down all around the sides, making sure it's all stuck down securely. And then once it's all stuck down like that, we can then seal the top of our image again using our Mod Podge. So I'm just going to wipe off the excess glue again, and then starting from the outside, working my way in, I'm just going to go around applying a thin layer, and this will just help to seal in our image, and it prevents the image from any fading in the future. This glue does go on white. It's like a PVA glue really. It goes on white but it dries clear with a nice gloss finish. So just a nice thin layer, making sure we cover all of that image and making sure there's no lumps or bumps, although you don't really see those once you apply your dome or your glossy accents. And then once that is all nicely covered, we can then leave this to dry. As you can see, it is a little bit cloudy, but that will dry clear and glossy. Now, while this is still wet, I would like to embellish it a little bit further. That is the beauty of using the glossy accents instead of the dome. If you use a dome, it needs a flat surface to stick to, so you can't apply any gems or anything like that. But because we're using the glossy accents, we can apply some little gems just down the sides here, just to add a little bit of bling. So I have got a pot of gems here somewhere, and they range from tiny little 2mm gems up to 5mm gems. I will try and find this and link it in the description below. I have had this a while, but I will try to find something similar if not. I've also got some tweezers, and I'm going to go for the tiniest gems, which are around 2mm. And that will just add a little bit of bling, but not take off too much attention from our lovely image that we've designed in the centre. So I'm going to place 3 on each side. I'm just going to pick this up to help me stick it down. And I'm not using any other glue. I am literally just sticking this to the wet Mod Podge that we just applied, that top coat, and that will hold these in place. And then when we apply the glossy accents, that will hold these in place even more, because usually I would use a gemstone glue for gems, but this Mod Podge will hold it fine for now, especially since we're going to be applying the top coat of glossy accents. Now I'm just having a closer look at these while the glue is still wet, and just sliding them while I still can, so they're nice and even. And then once I'm happy with the positioning like that, I'm going to let this Mod Podge dry, and then we can add our glossy accents. So now our top coat of Mod Podge is nice and dry and clear. We're ready to add our last top coat of the glossy accents. Now, I haven't used this in a while, so I will need to just check the tip isn't blocked, because they can get blocked. So I'm just going to remove the lid and give the bottle a gentle squeeze. And as you can see, the liquid and air is freely moving, so we don't need a pin to clear that tip. Now you want to make sure that you don't shake your bottle of glossy accents, because if you shake it up, you will get more bubbles within the bottle, and bubbles are what we want to avoid. So I'm going to start around the edge of my image first, and we're going to work our way into the centre. So I'm just going to squeeze the bottle gently and apply a layer all around the edge. And then we can use the nozzle, almost like a paintbrush, to spread the glossy accents towards the centre and squeeze a little bit more out when we need it. And just make sure that all that image is covered. You don't want it full right to the top of the bottle cap. As you can see, I've got mine around halfway full. Try and hold the bottle cap straight. And also any bubbles, like I've got a couple of bubbles in here, as you can see. To remove those, you just want to tap the bottle, squeeze out the air, and then keep it squeezed gently, and then pop it over the bubble. And then when you release the air from the bottle, that will suck up the bubble. Or alternatively, you can grab a pin or a needle and just pop the bubbles with a pin or a needle. So once you're happy that all the bubbles have gone, if you've got any tiny little ones that you can't get rid of, just push them over to the edge, and then you won't see them as much, because you can be left with some really tiny little bubbles that no matter how hard you try, you just can't pop them. So while it's still wet, just try and pop them. If not, push them to the sides of your image so that you can't see them. Now I'm going to leave this on a flat surface, and I'm going to leave it overnight to dry. And then you want to wipe the lid, wipe off any excess gloss so you don't get a blocked nib. You also want to squeeze out any excess glue from the nib and just wipe it away before you apply your lid for storage. And here is your finished bottle cap topper. As you can see, it's dried to a lovely glossy finish, and the gemstones are still nice and clear. They haven't clouded over or anything like that. Now keep an eye out on my channel, because in the next day or two I am going to be uploading a hair bow tutorial, and we're going to be using this very topper. In the meantime, if you like this video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.